In this question, we're asked, in which reaction is nitrogen reduced? So we've got 4 reactions to consider. One way to look at this is to take a look at the species involved and figure out what happened between reactants and products. Now, some of these species repeat in these questions, so let's start off by listing which nitrogen compounds we're dealing with. We have NO2, we have the nitrate ion at NO3 - 1, we have ammonia at NH3, we have nitrogen monoxide, NO, we have ammonia at NH4 with a +1 charge. In the first one, we know that oxides are generally -2, and there are 2 of them here. The overall charge is 0, and I'll let X represent the charge of nitrogen. So X - 4 equals 0, X equaling +4 as our charge for this one. In the next one, we have 3 oxides, overall -1, and I'll let Y represent the charge on the nitrogen. So Y - 6 equals -1, Y equals +5. In the next one, we have ammonia, and hydrogens are generally going to be a +1, unless they're a metal hydride. And I'm going to let Z represent the nitrogen. Overall, this is 0, so Z plus 3 equals 0, so Z equals -3. And nitrogen monoxide, we have a -2. And since this is overall a 0 charge, that means this has to be a +2. And then finally, ammonium. Again, we have 4 with a +1 charge for the hydrogens. Overall, this is a +1. And then I'm going to just use P to represent my nitrogen. So P plus 4 equals +1. P equals -3. So I've got my general charges now. Let's go see what happens in each case. In the first one, I start off with NO2, and this is at a +4, and I end up at the end as a nitrate, which is a +5. So in this case, we are oxidizing because we have a greater positive charge. In the next one, ammonium starts at -3. We end up at nitrogen monoxide, which is +2. That's definitely oxidizing. And then nitrogen monoxide here start at +2 and end up at +4. So again, I'm oxidizing. And then finally, NO3 - 1, I'm beginning at a +5. And then at the end, at ammonium, I end up at a -3. Oh, now this has gone the other direction. Nitrogen here is reduced. So the question asks, in which reaction is the nitrogen reduced? And that would be the last one. Now, another hint that would have helped you find this is if we look at the zinc starts off as a metal. And as metals, they can oxidize, they can't reduce. And we see this is true in that zinc goes from zinc metal to zinc ion. It oxidized. That means the other major species in here had to have reduced if this is a redox reaction. That other species is nitrogen. So there is another way to try to determine this.